All right. Good morning, my dogs. It is 6:31. It is March 31st. It is the last day of the first quarter, and we have a week in front of us. I would be very optimistic and excited because there's gonna be a lot of volatility. There's gonna be a lot of movement. We've had a lot of clues from this market to be risk down. Last week alone, last Wednesday, the active bears took over, and it gave a lot of people a lot of ways to get out of leftover longs and get short. And here we are coming in this morning to some downside follow through after Friday's close. That's all you could ask for, is not predatory counter trend action. Anyway, my name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com and the founder of Red Dog Mindset. You tune in right now into the 6:30 Club, where I try and give a roadmap to the week, where I give you things to look at, ways to make money, ways to be safe, and been doing it for a long time. For those of you who've been tuning in since 2020, it's good to have you. For some of you who started to subscribe to Red Dog Mindset, which is the button above, and you had a nice little 20-minute workout with me this morning, made a new playlist. It was awesome. Hopefully you liked it. And we had a nice whiteboard weekend this weekend. And here we go to approach the week. What you see right here is the actual weekly chart in the S&P cash. So some people who want to know maybe where points of references are, where we can get to. They're like, Red Dog, I follow your blood in the street account. I don't have enough time to just trade or this or that. What are your levels? Well, I've already put a third in, so this is 5504. Okay. This was the low that we put in, back in the early March. And then last week, look how symmetrical this is, by the way. Look how, you have your Red Dog reversal top here at 6,099. Then you had it breaking this accelerated trend and then rejected into the 8 and 21 day, then rejected into the 8-day. We mapped out areas where we could bounce to. On Wednesday, that bounce was over. And now we'll see, do we hold 5504 this morning and put in a double bottom? We'll get into the daily chart or not. So we'll see. A lot of people have multiple guesses. It's the last day of the month and quarter. I don't think they have anything to fight for, really. I think everyone would rather just close weak and have bad performance, because I don't think, according to my friends that manage hedge funds and buy side places, none of them did really well. But anyway, with that being said, the next real level below to me is 5406, which is about 12.5% off highs. I don't know if we see that this week. I'm just mapping it out. Here's 5406. Here's 5264. Some of my friends are saying this is the zone ultimately that we're going to see potentially, and it doesn't have to be this week. That could be in earnings season when all the pre-announcements happen. It could be over the summer. Who knows? We want to make money for the day, but all I'm saying is, for my wife's blood in the street account, it's a third in. She goes in tiers, based on the scenario, and it goes 4 or 5% lower. Since I already own somewhere in here, this would probably get me to put her in at 50%, because then again, it's only 12.5% off highs. The average move off the highs is almost 14, 15%, and we're in a I think a worse time than the average, which is good too. Like, government spending is coming in. They're getting rid of some of the spending, and that means they want to slow down growth. They have to, right? You can't keep increasing the deficit the way it is. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. We're going to get into today. We're going to make money today. So how are we going to make money today? We're going to watch our levels, and we're going to figure it out. So if you go to the SPYs on the daily, right there, this is your close-up. Okay. Remember when we had the false breakout? I'm not even going to get into it. So right here, this was last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I was doing the 6:30 Club. I was saying, hey, if we could hold 573, maybe we could see the moving averages. If we break it, that's it. This oversold bounce is over. And that candle basically said, get the hell out of the Dodge, reduce a lot of your active longs, and maybe get short below 573. It even went into that gap, if you remember. And then you had, a little bit of a doji day, and then this was Friday. So we closed on a dead low. So I don't know any active traders that went out long saying, hey, I'm going to buy this close into into Friday's weakness ahead of a weekend. No, if anything, most people went out short. They have puts, and now you're getting paid. So you sell your puts, coming in, or you cover some shorts, and then we see, does 549.68 hold? Okay, do we hold a little bit above it? Do they break it and get you a sloppy sell program down to 542? That'd be a little crazy. Maybe finally we'll get a little acceleration. Finally, get a little fear, because this has just felt like a deleveraging. This hasn't felt like fearful. It's felt like, hey, the market came into 2025 thinking that the Trump administration would be pro-growth. Instead, they said, we're going to bring in spending. We're going to try and take some of the froth out, the fraud out. And then right away, funds had to deleverage and say, hey, we're not going to be, in a growth environment. The PE of the S&P is 22, 23. We got to get that shit down. So they took out 10%. And now the question is, how slow are we going to get? And how long is this going to last? The tariffs aren't even out there yet. That's April 2nd, which is until Wednesday. But anyway, for today, so I'm coming in pretty light. This is the virtual trading floor. Usually I have 10, 15, 20 longs, which I got out of most of them here then, but I'm coming in with some SPY 550 puts. So that should be good. Some SOX calls, which we went over. Last week I said NVIDIA does not look good. The semis do not look good. If we're going to be led lower, it's going to be by the semis. So, and I have some NVIDIA puts. So I have 3 sets of puts, and I also have a few leftover longs, but I'm not sitting in positions. Usually if you tune in, red dogs in Tesla, red dogs in Amazon, red dogs in Apple or Microsoft or this, like I'm coming in. So today could be a good opportunity to buy versus a 5-15-minute low to see if anything can go red to green. And if we don't hold this 549, chances are it's not going to happen. So, I'm going to try and be opportunistic. I'm going to sell a lot of my puts today into this. I'm going to hold some just in case. And I'm going to see, do we get some support right here? If we don't, we don't. The Qs, which is tech, which has been the weakest, is opening below the low of March already. So for this is a little different. So this is below. So you have this. Yeah, first of all, this is where the SPYs are. The SPYs are right here. Let's go back for a second. So the SPYs are a tiny bit off the lows. Here's your SPYs. By the way, I give you guys a really good weekend rundown with the SPYs, and I do the weeklies and whatever. So SPYs right now are 550.76, which is a little bit right above here. So would that be a double bottom from where we were? Chances are, I think we kind of try and pause here. I would not be pressing the SPYs here short. If anything, I'd be looking maybe for a long versus this, and then see what type of bounce. If we can't get back above 555-ish, chances are at some point this breaks, and then you get your 542 or 538. I mapped out all these levels prior. But anyway, this is like your first line of defense. So anyway, then you go to the Qs. Qs are already below 466. So will the Qs, try and bounce, okay, and reclaim 466? Will they try? That's the question. Or will they try and get rejected here, turn lower, and then the SPYs break 550, and then all of a sudden, you get some market discovery, and then here's 448, which is the low from September 6th, and then this is another level, which is 434. So, you want to map out levels. You want to be prepared. You want to, when things are moving fast, say, hey, in the morning I talked about this level, and we're at this level. I know it doesn't feel right, but we have to at least focus there and see if we see clues to get long it, or is it going to break it? IWM, don't need to trade. XBI, don't need to trade. Some people like, hey, well, Red Dog, next time we rally, the XLE is going to be better. Okay, if you think that the energy sector is going to be the next sector to go, then into this weakness, I'd go out a month or 2 or 3 and buy some calls. Yes, the weekly chart in the XLE does look better. You do have this overall massive cup and handle pattern where, if we're going to be slowing down everywhere, I don't understand. But anyway, okay. You got to, this has been in this channel since 2022, above the cup. So you have 98 to 101. I would suggest, I don't really trade the energy names, but if you wanted to, if you thought that this was going to be the next great sector, which I'm not sure it will be, but you could go out and buy a big call spread. Buy what's the XLE is doing this morning, by the way? XLE is, it's only down 36 cents. So they're showing some relative strength in the XLE. So right now you're 92. You could go out and buy the June 95s for so cheap, or you could buy the 98s, or you could buy the 101s. Or you could just buy it and put a stop in. I'm just saying that's the XLE. I don't know what I'm going to be doing there, to be honest. Probably not a whole lot. I'm not going to get away from what I'm doing, but maybe I'll buy options. I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk to Michael about it for power plays. But anyway, so you go to the usual suspects. Let's go to Tesla first. So Tesla's kind of interesting. Kind of. Not that interesting, but kind of. Kind of is the new special. Again, this was a little predatory last week. I don't know if you guys remember last week, but this was kind of nutty when, it got above 288, went to 291, and then pretty much failed. I know a lot of guys who were buying it and then, bought for 2 more days and they got really hurt. I'm like, why if it went above and didn't hold it? Okay, that's a Red Dog reversal sell. That's a distribution. But anyway, not going to get into that for now. But bottom line is, Not only did you have a red dog reversal sell, and then it was weaker on Friday, so now you'll see what's Tesla doing today. So there is news out there that X merged with AI or whatever that news was about. So basically, X is going to be XAI, and now Musk. Some people think that this should relieve a little stress on Tesla shareholders because now, they were saying, God forbid something goes wrong with X, he would need to sell shares of Tesla to keep funding X, but now there's not that overhead anymore. So with the market so weak today, Tesla's down also, so maybe Tesla's worth a look today. So to me, I'm going to watch Tesla for a clue that if the market continues to go lower and Tesla doesn't, maybe you could buy versus an area for cash flow. So that'll be my my thoughts on Tesla. I don't own Tesla. I traded it a bunch of times. I usually, when it moves, I'm pretty good finding that move. So right now, Tesla's at 251. So this is it's below the gap here. This gap level is let's see, this gap here is 256, so it's already in the gap. The gap gets filled at 249. So we'll see. The best thing I would say is let it put a low in, let the market continue to get weak in it, show you that there's some buyers there, and then maybe there's a trade there. And also, if the SPYs make a new low for March and Tesla makes a higher low, hey, then maybe for the first time when we do find some kind of pivot buy area, Tesla's showing that there's some small relative strength because it's been showing you relative weakness ever since the red dog reversal here with lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, all lower highs. So if the market makes new lows over the next however long time and this doesn't, that's your clue to, hey, maybe Tesla will be a little bit better for its autonomous vehicles. It's robotics, whatever that you want to give the narrative to. So anyway, that's that. So on a day like today, when the futures are down 50, you don't want to be all spread out. You want to have like 4 or 5 stocks you're watching that are key names besides the indices. So I'm going to be watching the SPYs. I'm going to be watching the Qs trading, also Tesla. And then I would say Amazon will be another one. Amazon closed horrible. Remember last week we did play a bounce in Amazon. I got long in here and I sold into the 206s. And then right here, you could have got out of the way. You could have even sold the rebounds and boom. So this low right here is what? This is 189, 189.40. So already below that. So if you remember last time, actually, I remember we had a power play. This is some big support here. This is more like 178, 180-ish. So Amazon's kind of in no man's land. Amazon is, a little bit below 189.40. So I would watch for a low here. It's not down that much. This is something I like to trade sometimes because, you can get some size. It's not loose and wide. Like Meta sometimes feels like you have no control. So that's Amazon and Meta also. Meta's down 11. So, this is going to be, I'm going to have these two names side by side with the Tesla. So Meta's down 11. So if you want to put Meta here, Meta also, remember we mapped out the 50-day? That's why you want to have levels. Like when we were playing this bounce, I'm like, I think it can get to 622, maybe the 50-day. Well, it got to the 50-day and then it broke that low and that was your out. You could manage these things. I know the market moves fast, so that's what you're trained to do is trade them and move fast. But anyway, it did close on the dead lows. This is 574 and now Meta is at 565. So I would think this would be really compelling. I might even like figure out, as a macro buy 542 to 550. Actually, I'll just put in my swing account in that area. By the way, in the blood in the street account can only do mutual funds and ETFs because it's a retirement account, and I can't trade stocks in a retirement account and then also be the chief strategic officer of T3 Live, where I have my active account, my swing account, my options account, my box account. So if I all of a sudden long Meta in like an IRA, and then I'm shorting it in my T3 active account, that's against the law. So in my long-term accounts, all I do is accumulate over the long term for my 401k. I'm 52. This helps your average cost. And the blood in the street, I strategically enter because I can't add funds. If you just put money in every month and you don't time the market, you will win at some point, especially if you don't trade for a living. If you trade for a living, you better have all these levels prepared. But anyway, this is an interesting, Meta's interesting. It's down 11,565, but it's in no man's land. So it's either you're going to buy versus a 5-15-minute low if the market wants to bounce off the first hour, which we don't know yet, or this would be, a really big area, this 550 to 542. It goes all the way back, to 2000, whatever, 22 or so. But so I would put that up. I think Meta, obviously, over time, this 740 obviously is a high, and it's going to be a high for a while, but I do think this is a good area, but we'll see. So again, I feel like SPYs, Qs, Tesla, Amazon, Meta, that's really all you need in there. You can have one eye on Microsoft. It's been horrible, or Apple. Netflix is kind of loose and wide. And then go to the semis, NVIDIA. I actually have puts in NVIDIA coming in. Yay, Red Dog has puts. Anyway, what's your point of reference on NVIDIA? 104.77. Okay, so NVIDIA right now is a little off lows. Okay, not a lot off lows. So everything's a little off lows. So we'll see. Does NVIDIA hold this 104 area, which was the low from March 11th, and put a small double bottom in, or does it break it? If it breaks it, then there's nothing down towards 100-ish. So I probably will be selling some puts on the open and then figure out. I might try and buy NVIDIA, but we'll see. For a trade, just a trade. We're only just trading for cash flow. I don't think you need to watch any of the semis, except for they gave you clues to the downside, like AVGO. Look at that break. I had an inside, this was a bear flag channel that broke to the downside. It's like textbook. So no one should be long that. But anyway, I am long SOXS. I've been long this since Wednesday in some capacity. And now here you are, above this 29.46. We were buying it here. So this definitely helped the Alpha team. Everyone's like, Red Dog, we need hedges, we need shorts. I'm like, well, if we're going to be testing the lows next week, it's the semis that are the weakest. So that's why I'm buying the SOXX calls. And I have, the 27s. So that's pretty good. So we'll see what happens here. I probably should have bought more and rolled up some 30s, but it is what it is. Yeah. So again, so now you have, just trying to show you how I'm thinking about it. SPYs and Qs. SPYs, I'm going to watch the low from early March. Qs, I'm going to see if it comes back and reclaims those lows or gets rejected. We'll see, does Tesla show any relative strength? Does Meta and Amazon show any relative strength? Does NVIDIA hold that 104 or break it? And then you can go to JP Morgan. Remember I told you, don't buy JP Morgan, and that was after that big move, and it could break 249. Well, that happened. Anyway, so with that being said, if you want to play a bank, all right, this just came from 254 lower. You could have this up. We've already filled this gap. This gap is gone. This low is what? This is 241. I haven't been playing the banks, but I've been charting JP Morgan for those that do, because that's what I do. I'm your chief strategic officer for T3 Live, for the Alpha team, and for Redler All Access, and for those who have had the luxury of having the 630 Club for free since 2020, because a lot of you guys have become subscribers, because instead of just 20 minutes, you have the whole day. And if you've been watching this for free, a lot of you guys have been subscribing to Red Dog Mindset because you want to get the early morning pregame where you get your mind right, you get your exercise in and all that stuff. But anyway, what's JP Morgan doing right now? JP Morgan is down 240, 239. So yeah, so if it were to get into here, that would be a higher low. So JP Morgan, so just say like, watch. So the SPYs is at the March low. Is JP Morgan at the March low? No. So maybe that's going to be a vehicle moving forward, or these things play catch up, which that happens also. Like some people are like, well, look at Apple. Apple's showing relative strength. It's not at the lows of the year. I'm like, okay. The question is it going to play catch up, or is it going to be a safety spot because of the buyback and everything? I'll probably watch Apple today. Apple's only down $1.33. Apple's not down a whole hell of a lot. So maybe Apple, money, if they want to rally the market for the last day of the month into tomorrow with some new flows, maybe Apple also is worth a look. So sometimes this is how one of my screens look. You have all these level twos, so I could see the inside action, I could see the speed and all that, besides a chart. I have 6 different monitors. But anyway, again, a little sneaky peek. Let me say hello to some of my dogs real quick. So this is, people could talk to me on YouTube and on Twitter. And so Nugsy saying sell. By the way, Nugsy tunes into the 630 Club every day. I mean, and the 520 now, and he's got a great attitude. Congrats to you. 5,500 on the S&P cash ribbon. Well, we'll see. Right now, the SPYs are at 550. Larry says a new mindset member. That's cool. Hopefully, I had a nice little workout today with some weights and got ready. If we are slowing down, I don't know how XLE. I agree. Some people think the XLE is a China play, that China stimulus, that China is coming out of their 2007, 2008 moment, and that they're going to have to consume a lot of energy. So hence, the XLE. So that's their that's their whatever. Tom Lee says this week is a bottom to buy. Okay, well, it'd be nice. Yeah, I'd like that too. I'd like to sell some puts and get long. I have no longs on. I'd love to. Tom Lee says that all the time though. So does Ord or whoever these guys are. I'm going to give you guys a roadmap and let the market. There were guys last week that were shorting the market on Monday and Tuesday before Wednesday told you to, and by the time Wednesday came around, they were too tired and they weren't able to execute on the short because they lost when the market wasn't saying it. So if you start buying today for a bounce that could happen later, they might sell this market all the way into the tariffs on Wednesday and then buy that news. You don't know. Or today with the pension imbalance, maybe they close us off the lows and tomorrow new flows, you have a gap up and maybe that's the bottom. But I don't think the bottom of 2025 happens this week. I just don't. I feel like earnings season is going to be lukewarm. Guidance is going to be great. And, it's Trump's not going to go ballistic with putting on the tariffs on tariff day and then take them off in a week unless the market's down 20% or more. And then again, that'll be, a lot of volatility for us. But here we are anyway. Got on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, unfortunately, has become a risk asset. It hasn't been a safety vehicle. Gold has been unbelievable. For those of you in gold, congratulations. Like such a difference. Everyone was making fun of the boomers and making fun of these guys, and these guys are usually they're the experienced ones. Don't make fun of your elders. Your elders have a lot more experience than you freaking 15 to 25-year-olds who are buying meme coins and following Portnoy, being a freaking belligerent gambler. No, I'm kidding. Not everyone's like that. But these baby boomers, they've been, putting 10% of their pie allocation into gold and buying physical every month, and and then if you're trading it, you could have been long it right here above the 8-day. It's the momentum moves happen in gold too. So anyway, gold's been working and Bitcoin's been a pain in the butt. I tried it, and Bitcoin, if you remember, I gave you guys that wedge. It was wedging last week and it broke to the downside. Not crazy, but Bitcoin got tight. It looked like if it got above 89, maybe it could have been better. And then that move happened late last week. Hasn't fallen apart though. So that's interesting. So it's not back down at 76,000 where the spies are down at the March low. So if you're thinking at some point it's going to get back above 108, it's going to have to clear this downtrend at some point, and it just hasn't done it yet. My gut says a high of Bitcoin isn't in. I think that the administration screwed up with friggin' Trump coins, Melania coins, and all those meme coins. It kind of like cheapened the whole sector when he got elected. As that day when Trump coin was above 70, I'm like, guys, 90% of meme coins become a zero, or 90% off highs. Do not be buying the Trump coin, even if you like them. I'm not talking politics, but the meme coins are worth nothing. Anyway, so for me, I'd rather see you buy Bitcoin every single month for a bunch of years, like buying gold, and you probably make a lot of money over time. You're not going to do it buying shithouse coin, whatever it is. Anyway, but you guys, you do you. So at some point, it could break above this. Perhaps you buy some options a month or two out just in case it happens fast overnight, et cetera, et cetera. Tom Lee doesn't lie. He's just, he's just historically bullish. But sometimes they'll say the market could have a hiccup. I like Tom Lee. I'd rather see somebody be historically bullish because over time the bull market will win. So versus being this isn't going to end well type guy, because it only doesn't end well for 2 years and then we get back in a bull market or so. But for us, a coffee is asking, good morning, Mr. Scott. Quick question. What platform is the L2 from, level 2s? Oh, I trade on Sterling. So Sterling is my platform. I do Sterling Pro for options. And then I use, what's it called? TrendSpider for charts. And I probably could be using other things. I just don't. This is what I'm used to. I'm an old dog. So, hi, Scott from Lancaster. What's up? All right. So anyway, one more time, here's the spies. If you simplify it, which is what I like to do, I'm a cotton napkin technician. Like God bless, bless his soul, Art Cashin. And do we hold above 549 and try and bounce in the first 5, 15, 30 minutes or hour? Or do we break this and get a sloppy stops and boom down to 542? We shall see. I'm going to be watching Tesla for clues, Amazon and Meta, maybe a little bit of Apple. I'm going to be watching the SOXS, selling some of the calls in there that I have. I'm going to be selling some of the puts that I have, and I'm maybe be able to buy some NVIDIA versus 104. And we're going to just let the day unfold. Control what we control. Right now I'm sitting here. I'm ready to go. I got my iced coffee. I've been up since 4:45. I have all my levels. I have all the stocks. I've already got a good 2 pounds of sweat out. I've already been in my ice barrel. I feel like I won the morning. Now I want to win the day. What did you do this morning? Did you drink your water? Did you do what you needed to do to get yourself situated? So, some things are like, I have a lot going on this week. People are like, Red Dog, how could you handle? You have the 2520, the 630 club, and then you have XM radio at 8:35. Then you're on the radio and you're doing your 40 charts, and you got a trade, and then you have a conference call at 1, and then another one at 7, and then you have guys coming in to watch and going to Fox Business Thursday, and then you have your listen. You can handle it. You can do it. Take a deep breath. They say, you rise to the occasion. No, you revert to your training. I've been sitting at my desk. I've been doing these charts. I've been having this process for the last 25 years. And the reason why I could do it is because I do my workout in the morning. I do my fast. I feel good. It helps me deal with the stress so that I can handle the situation. And I know that I'm going to do the best that I can. And that's all you can do. If you're lying to yourself and you're getting up late and you're hungover, or you just don't feel right, you're never going to execute and you're never going to get anywhere. So with that said, we'll see what today brings. Be excited. The SPYs right now are 550. Here's that low. Qs are below the lows of the year. If it doesn't move, maybe it actually is a leader that then the SPYs do it, and then we'll figure it out. But over the next 1, 3, 6 weeks, there's going to be tons of opportunity. And the only way you're going to make money is if you see it clearly. So get your mind right and get prepared. And only you could do that. I'll see you guys later. I have a lot to do with the Alpha team now. Redler All Access, and I'm getting ready to go. Get ready to go. What's your go time? Got to figure what that is. And you have to train your brain so you can do it. Later, guys.